Hola amigos and welcome to the new lesson of Spanish Language Learning Center, and today we'll be talking about workplace vocabulary. So what's the verb to work? To work is known as trabajar, trabajar. So you see it's a normal AR verb, trabajar. And few lessons back we learned about AR verbs. In Spanish there are three types of verbs, AR, ER and IR verbs, and they all have different endings for each of the yo, tú, usted, nosotros, vosotros, and ustedes form. And for regular AR verbs, the endings were o, as, a, amos, ais, an. So we'll use that rule over here, and our endings would become when we want to say I work, trabajo. You work, trabajas. He works, she works. You work, trabaja. We work, trabajamos. You all work, trabajáis. They work or you all work, trabajan. Alright, so going to the few more uh, terms. The company, so the place where we work. So there are two terms for it, la empresa o la compañía. La empresa o la compañía. So as we see, these are the words or palabras ending with a. So La, la is the form which we'll use over here. La empresa o la compañía. So yes, we have an organization and an organization has employees in it, employees or employee in it. So an employee is known as el empleado o la empleada. So looking at this O and A, we know that over here we are talking about a masculine character and over here we are talking about a feminine character, and that's why we are using el form of the over here and la form over here. So el empleado o la empleada. And when we are talking about number of employees or more than one, so the form would become los and las, the plural form. So los empleados, we simply add s to the empleado to make the plural form. Los empleados, las empleadas. Alright, and if we are talking about a mixed group, which means both masculine and feminine characters are in there, so then we'll say los empleados. Los empleados. Alright, so we work in a organization, we have colleagues or co-workers, and there are different terminologies to name them. First one, el compañero de trabajar. El compañero de trabajar. Or la compañera de trabajar. La compañera de trabajar. So over here, looking at this ending and the form of the, that is el, we know we are talking about a male colleague. And over here, we are talking about the female colleague as we're using la and the word is ending with a. Another interesting form to note over here is this tilt, tilted accent. The pronunciation becomes compañero, compañero, compañera. So there's another term that is used for the co-worker is colega. So this, yes, this is a rule breaker, although this word ends with a, but yes, it is applicable to both male and female colleague. So el colega or la colega, depending upon what is the gender of the colleague to whom we are addressing. All right. Yes, we work somewhere and we have a manager or we have boss, and they could be male, they could be female. So The term is el jefe or la jefa. El jefe or la jefa. So the term for team is equipo. Equipo. And since this ends with O, so we want to say the team, we'll use the el form of the. El equipo. El equipo. A buyer is known as el comprador or la compradora. So if a buyer is a male, el comprador, and female buyer, la compradora. Alright. And if we are talking about multiple buyers, we'll use the plural form of el and la. So it would become los compradores or las compradoras. Yes, they are buyers, they are supplier at the workplace. So supplier is el proveedor or la proveedor. So the terminology over here is same, proveedor, but depends on the gender of the person. The form will vary. El proveedor, la proveedor. And if we are talking about multiple suppliers, so we'll use the los or las form of the los proveedores, las proveedoras. Los proveedores, las proveedoras. And yes, something that we use very often, not only at the workplace, but in daily life. Thank you. So the term for it is gracias. Gracias. So this is something that you will probably hear one out of every 15 or 20 words. Gracias. Thank you. And if you want to say thank you very much, you want to be polite, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Excuse me, which means you're talking to your boss and you want to leave con, con permiso. Con permiso. And you just want to say sorry. Perdón. Perdón. So if you're talking, want to say Mr. or Sir. So the term is Señor. Señor. If you're talking to a female character, you want to say Madam. Madam Marcela. So then now there are two terms over here, Señora or Señorita. Now this is Señora is basically addressed or added or used for married female character. But Señorita, it is used for unmarried or single female character. So if you want, if you know that Marcela is married, so then you'll say Señora Marcela. But if you know Marcela is single, then you'll say Señorita Marcela. All right. All right. So we went through quite a lot of terms, and let's try to use them in few sentences. So you want to say Pablo is my manager. So Pablo is a character and he's your boss or supervisor. So manager is jefe, jefe. And we are using jefe over here because we know Pablo is a male character. So we'll say Señor Pablo es mi jefe. Señor is basically the title that we have added. Es, third form of ser. Mi is for my jefe. Señor Pablo is mi jefe. Another example. The buyers are here. So here is aquí and buyers are compradores or compradoras. So depending upon the group, what it consists of, mixed group, male characters or female characters. So we'll say los compradores or las compradoras están aquí. Alright, here we are using estar form, estar verb, and we are using the uh, ustedes or ellos form of estar. Los compradores or las compradoras están aquí. Alright, I work in a company. So work is trabajar. I work. So that means yo form trabajo. So yo trabajo en is for in, and company we know empresa, and because empresa is a feminine word, so we'll add a to un. Yo trabajo en una empresa. Alright. Now you are addressing someone. Madam Catalina, you want to say. So let's say you know that Catalina is married, so you say Senora Catalina. And if you don't know, so first you'll address her as Senorita Catalina. And in case she is married and she wants to correct you, so the person will let you know that if she is to be addressed as Senora or Senorita. Right? Then let's say you want to say, sorry, I do not speak French. So you have buyers or suppliers or clients coming in and they speak in French and you just want to, and you have received them and you want to say, tell them you do not speak French. Perdón, that is the term for sorry. Yo no hablo francés. So, hablo, basically hablar is the verb for speak. So we are talking about first form, I do not speak. So hablo, and because I don't speak French, so I'll add no before to hablo. Perdón, yo no hablo francés. Just a minute, excuse me. So yes, you want someone's attention. So con permiso was the term for excuse me. So you'll just say uno minuto con permiso. Uno minuto con permiso. Right? Yes, there are places, office. So terminology for office is la oficina, oficina, la oficina. Then where do you go to eat in the office? Cafeteria. So it's la cafeteria or la cantina. La cafeteria, la cantina. The reception. An office has a reception. La recepción. La recepción. Now here I'm going to tell something interesting in similarity between English and Spanish words. For most of the English words which end with tion, the Spanish translation of them is almost the same. Only thing that differs is this T is replaced by C, say, and the O comes with an accent. So the reception, la recepción, la recepción. And this is like something you'll say for, let's say, you talk about conversation, that is another term. So in Spanish it would become conversación, conversación. And there are whole lot of English terms which we'll talk about when we'll go to the lesson where we'll talk about the similarities between English and Spanish. But for now, the reception is called as la recepción. Then yes, We work anywhere to earn money. And the term is the salary, el sueldo or el salario. Salary is known as sueldo or salario. And the form would be, since they are masculine nouns, so the term is el sueldo, el salario. Payroll. You work in an organization, you are on their payroll. So payroll is nómina, nómina. The payroll, la nómina.